DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Tonight, kids in the Laurel School District will be learning from home Friday. We'll tell you why. Plus, dirt bikes and ATVs are causing a real havoc on Dover streets. And are you registered to vote? Well, the deadline for Delaware's general election is fast approaching. Those stories and much more coming up tonight on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to this edition of DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday evening. Here's what's making headlines today across the first state. The International Longshoremen's Association went on strike October 1st, halting operations at ports all along the East and Gulf Coast, including right here in Wilmington. The strike follows a prolonged dispute with the United States Maritime Alliance over wages and automation concerns. It's the ILA's first major strike in nearly 50 years. ILA president vowed to continue until fair wages and job protections are secured. The strike has already impacted 45,000 dock workers and is expected to affect the national supply chain if it persists, particularly with the holidays approaching. Ports all the way from Maine to Texas are now stalled, raising concerns over price hikes and shortages for consumers, especially in industries like agriculture, seafood, and electronics. In other news tonight, to North Wilmington now, where state police are investigating a single-car rollover crash. It happened this afternoon on Naaman's Road near Naaman's Village Apartments. Police say around 2:30 in the afternoon, an SUV reared off the road, sideswiped a pole, crossed the entrance to the apartment complex, all before striking a tree. The driver, a woman said to be in her mid-30s, reportedly suffered a head injury and was flown to Christiana Hospital. Also, we're told a 10-year-old boy was in the car. He was taken to the hospital by ambulance. There is no word yet on his condition. And in Sussex County, Laurel School District students will learn from home this Friday due to widespread staff absences. Superintendent Sean Larimore announced that more than 70 staff members are scheduled to be out Friday, with 30 positions unfilled. Teachers will be available by email. Larimore said the shift to at-home learning is a more proactive step, citing the district's ongoing staffing challenges, but assuring families this is a one-time situation. Assignments will be completed independently as the district navigates this staff shortage. And Wilmington Airport officially broke ground on a major terminal expansion, a $9.8 million project set to modernize its facilities. Joined by local and state officials, the Delaware River and Bay Authority kicked off construction less than a year after securing a $5.6 million from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act. The expansion will add 6,000 square feet, including a new boarding gate, TSA pre-check lane, and expanded food options. The project addresses growing passenger demand and is expected to create 60 temporary as well as 100 permanent jobs. Completion is targeted for late next year, ahead of American Airlines' new bus service we told you about. That's going to start pretty soon, October 7th. And speaking of the skies, let's get right to the weather now with DETV's own Shakara Denise. Hey, Shakara.
DETV News Weather is brought to you by Real Life Prosthetics. Live life fully with Real Life Prosthetics. Your ability is our mission. Okay, DETV fam, I know it's been a little dreary lately, but don't you worry. Those clouds are packing their bags and they are heading out of here because tomorrow we're serving up some sunshine. Yes, finally sunshine. We're getting a peek of that golden goodness. Expect a lovely mix of clouds and sun, and you'll definitely notice it's warmer out there with a high of 76 degrees. And then by the evening, we'll drop to the high 50s. Now, let me tell you, things will be heating up this weekend, literally. We're talking temperatures higher than normal, and it's going to be gorgeous out, which is perfect timing because, as our buddy Nick said, the greatest sports guy here at DETV, It's Red October, which means Phillies fever. So if you got plans, make sure they include going to see the Phils on Saturday. Or if you're sticking around, be sure to check out Delaware State University's homecoming football game or cheer on our local sports teams at their field hockey, track, or football games. You have plenty of options, lots of them. And the good news just keeps on coming because next week, Matt, guess what? Even though the temps will cool down a bit, we're still looking at dry, sunny days. A whole stretch of bright skies ahead. You can't ask for much more better than that. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you so much, Sakara. Lots of fall sports coming up in the next few days and weeks. Sounds good. To other news now, a Seaford man is in custody after an alleged armed robbery and vehicle theft down in Sussex County. Delaware State Police say 27-year-old Javante Ricketts and two others robbed a woman at gunpoint near Hollyville and Mountjoy Roads on September 29th. A second suspect allegedly forced a man from his vehicle. Fleeing the scene, Ricketts faces multiple felony charges, including first-degree robbery and firearm possession. And the election is just a few weeks away, and the deadline to register to vote here in Delaware's general election is approaching fast. Delawareans have until Saturday, October 12th, to ensure they are eligible to cast their vote in November's election. Voter registration can be completed either online via the state's voter portal or in person at various government offices, including the Division of Motor Vehicles. You want to make sure to bring your Delaware-issued ID or alternative documentation showing your name and address. For more details, you're going to want to visit Delaware Department of Elections website. And residents of North Wilmington are voicing some concerns this week over a proposed liquor license for Blackwall Barn and Lodge, which is set to open at Avenue North off of Route 202. The license includes outdoor speakers and live entertainment, which has sparked some debate among residents. Some locals worry about noise and late-night disruptions, while others support the plan. Public comments are due by October 18th. The Delaware Alcoholic Beverage Commissioner will decide on the matter, considering feedback from residents as well as previous cases. Blackwall is slated to open in fall of 2025. And the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is considering federal protections for the Bethany Beach firefly, a coastal insect facing potential endangerment. Found in freshwater marshes along the Atlantic shorelines of the Delmarva Peninsula, the firefly's habitat is threatened by climate change, rising tides, and development. To prevent further decline, FWS is proposing the list of species under the Endangered Species Act. Public comments on the proposal are open now until December 2nd of this year through regulations.gov. And in Dover, illegal dirt bikes and ATVs are creating havoc on the city streets despite a recent ban, police say. Residents such as Christina King say reckless riders are weaving in and out of traffic, raising some real safety concerns. We're told that they're zooming between cars and cutting off lanes. The city council prohibited off-highway vehicles back in July of this year, but drivers report that they're still active. Police in Dover admit enforcement is very tricky, but they urge the public to report sightings. Some other locals in the area want designated areas for these vehicles to ride safely. And before we leave you tonight, some news out of Rehoboth. The much anticipated repaving of Rehoboth Avenue, it's unfortunately hit a snag. The Delaware Department of Transportation, or DelDOT as it's known, cited unexpected budget increases. Originally set to begin in October this month, the project may now be postponed for over a year. Despite this, concrete work on medians as well as ADA-compliant parking spots will continue this fall. Local business owner Rudy Gonzalez says he sees the delay as a blessing, saying it'll keep crowds flowing during the upcoming Sea Witch Festival, which remains unaffected. And that's going to do it for this DETV News Brief tonight. Don't forget to follow us all along your favorite social media platforms for updates on what's happening all around the state of Delaware anytime. And if you have a comment, question, or a news tip for us, feel free to send it our way. Contact us at press@detvch.com. And for all of us here, including Shakara and myself here at DETV News, I'm Matt Ford. Have a wonderful night. don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among Black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and Nurse Navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.
My name is Jason Aviles, and I am the founder and owner of Fly Yogi, and I'm here to share with you some tips to be able to help fight opioid addiction. Opioid addiction is a real growing problem here in America, and I'm here to share with you some tips that you can be able to integrate into your everyday life to really fight against opioid addiction. One of the first things is redeveloping your mindset. One of the practices that I like to use daily is meditation. And what meditation does is it brings you clarity of mind, and it helps keep you grounded, and it improves your ability to make decisions that you are going to benefit from. A lot of the time we find that addiction is rooted in our mindset. It's rooted in how we think and how we perceive, and therefore how we act. So this is a really good way to help fight against that energy of addiction. The second thing is improving your lifestyle through diet and exercise. At the very root of addiction, there is substances within the body that's causing the addiction on a physical level. When we begin to introduce healthier foods, plant-based foods, we begin to remove and detox the substances that are in our body that's causing and attracting the addiction. So through incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and even drinking water on a daily basis, you're going to put your body in a state where it's going to be able to fight the root causes of these addictions. The second part is exercise. Exercise is good for mood. It's good for energy. It's good to increase vitality. It's good to get your heart pumping and get your blood flowing and get oxygen moving throughout the body. So through engaging in physical exercise, complemented by incorporating healthier foods, you're putting your body and your mind in a state where it does not want what's causing these things that are manifesting negatively in your life. So addiction can really be decreased by just incorporating a healthier lifestyle through diet and nutrition, exercise, and then also making sure that you're tackling the mind through mindset, through meditation.